Okay, let's unpack this. Big news dropping from the world of football today.
Definitely. A move that's got a lot of people talking.
For sure. And we've got the source material right here. It's a Sky Sports article detailing a pretty major player transfer.
It's significant news, yeah, especially when you consider the player involved and the slightly unusual circumstances around it all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So our mission for this deep dive really is to zero in on the key facts presented in this article. We're going to look closely at the financials, which are interesting to say the least, and try to figure out what this move really signifies, based only on what Sky Sports is reporting here.
Just the facts from the article, yeah, but exploring them properly, analyzing the situation as they lay it out.
Exactly, considering the different angles, the implications. Okay, so let's get straight to the headline news, the core fact from the article.
Real Madrid has agreed a deal. They're signing Liverpool defender Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Wow. Okay. Two absolute giants of the game there, Liverpool and Real Madrid.
And the player, Trent Alexander-Arnold. I mean, his name is practically synonymous with Liverpool these past few years.
Right. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because the timing and the fee mentioned in the article, they're quite striking.
They are.
This deal is specifically set up to get him before his contract with Liverpool actually expires.
Which is June 30th?
Yeah, June 30th. So, just a month away from when this report came out.
Very close. Almost out of contract.
And the agreed fee for this, the article states $10 million.
$10 million. And it points at a fascinating contrast.
Doesn't it just? Real Madrid's original offer, mentioned right there in the piece, was apparently just $1 million.
1 million euros. That's quite the jump to 10 million pounds.
It really is.
Yeah.
So the financial implication for Liverpool is clear based on the source.
Yeah, they get 10 million for a player who in just a few weeks could have walked away for nothing.
Exactly. Free agent status was right around the corner.
And the article clarifies the payment structure too. It says it's a single payment of 10 million.
Which they note is 8.4 million.
Right, plus his June wages, bringing that total value for Liverpool up to the 10 million mark.
So yeah, effectively 10 million snagged right at the end instead of zero, which, immediately begs the question.
Why?
Why the rush? Why would Real Madrid pay 10 million, a significant jump from their first offer, for a player they could potentially get for free so very soon?
Well, the article gives Real Madrid's stated reason directly.
Okay, what is it?
They want him available. They want him to play for them in the Club World Cup.
Ah, okay, the Club World Cup. And that tournament, the details provided say it starts June 15th.
June 15th. So they need him in the squad, registered, maybe even integrated a bit before then.
Right, which explains the timing for the actual move, too. He'll physically move to Madrid when that mini transfer window opens, Sunday, June 1st.
Yeah, it looks like the strategic value of having him specifically for that tournament in mid-June was high enough for them to, pay that premium way over their initial offer, and certainly more than waiting a few weeks.
It's a fascinating calculation. Okay, beyond that immediate need for the Club World Cup, what does the article say about his longer-term future there? What kind of contract are we talking about?
It states he signed a 6-year deal at the Santiago Bernabeu.
6 years. That's a substantial commitment. And his age is listed as 26.
A 6-year deal for a 26-year-old. That really suggests Real Madrid isn't just thinking short-term about this one tournament.
No, clearly not.
They must see him as a key part of their squad for many years to come. It really does forecast him being a pretty foundational piece for them going forward, you'd think.
Okay, let's flip this now. Let's look at it from Liverpool's perspective and touch on Alexander-Arnold's history and legacy, based purely on what this Sky Sports article tells us.
Right. It includes Liverpool's official statement. They acknowledge the offer's been accepted, confirm he's leaving.
And that statement confirms Liverpool will receive a fee, with the whole thing wrapping up June 1st.
Yeah, and then the article dives into his long history with the club. Joined the academy aged just 6.
6 years old.
Made his senior debut back in October 2016.
That really is a journey, isn't it? Starting practically as a kid, rising all the way through. The stats mentioned are pretty impressive, too.
354 appearances, 23 goals for Liverpool, that's according to the article.
And the honors list.
Wow. It's formidable, as detailed right there. 8 major trophies lifted with Liverpool.
Let's see, 2 Premier League titles.
Champions League, FIFA Club World Cup, UEFA Super Cup.
FA Cup, and 2 League Cups.
Yeah, an incredible haul for someone who came right through their own system.
And the article also includes some specific mentions that kind of paint an emotional picture of his departure.
It does. It notes he leaves with the club being appreciative and grateful for everything he did.
And it references those moments, like singing with the cop after his final match.
And him reflecting on his 20-year journey at Liverpool.
20 years.
It underlines that this isn't just, another player transfer. This is someone deeply woven into the fabric of the club's recent history and success leaving.
A place that's been his footballing home since he was a child.
Exactly.
Okay, let's try and analyze this a bit more now based on what the article presents. What does it all tell us? First off, that $10 million town fee for a player literally weeks away from his contract ending.
Yeah.
And the article specifically mentions that first $1 million offer. So what's the analysis here? Was this an unexpected negotiation win for Liverpool?
Or did Real Madrid just decide to strategically overpay to get him early?
Right.
Well, based purely on the figures in the article, Liverpool securing $10 million instead of nothing in a few weeks, that's obviously a good outcome for them at this late stage. You have to say that.
Seemed like it.
And Real Madrid's willingness to bump that offer up so dramatically from $1 million to essentially $10 million all in, that strongly suggests they were paying a premium.
A significant one.
Yeah. The analysis implied by the article is that needing him specifically for the Club World Cup gave Liverpool some unexpected leverage right at the death, really. Allowed them to get value where maybe none was expected just weeks before.
That really highlights the importance of Real Madrid wanting him for that tournament then. What does that suggest about maybe his expected immediate role? Or how much significance Real places on the Club World Cup right now?
Wanting a player like Alexander-Arnold, especially with his skill set, that passing range, the creativity from deep for an immediate competition like the Club World Cup, it suggests they see him playing a significant role straight away.
Not just making up the numbers.
No, definitely not. It could point to a specific tactical need they feel he fills uniquely, or maybe they just see the tournament as a crucial high-profile stage to integrate a major new signing quickly. Either way, it definitely elevates the importance of that competition for Real Madrid in this specific instance.
And looking further out again, that 6-year deal. He's 26. What does that forecast about Real Madrid's long-term view of him, beyond just this June tournament?
Well, a 6-year contract, that's a massive statement, isn't it? It says loud and clear they see him as a core part of their future.
A long-term investment.
Exactly. An investment in a player they likely believe is entering his prime years and can contribute at the absolute highest level for, well, half a decade or more. The article mentioning that deal length strongly suggests they view him not just as a fix for the Club World Cup, but as a potential cornerstone.
Whether that's in defense or maybe even midfield down the line, who knows, but a cornerstone.
Yeah, for years to come, that's the forecast.
Now, considering the facts presented about the Liverpool side of things, losing a player who joined at 6, made, what, over 350 appearances?
354, yeah. And 23 goals, 8 major honors.
Right. What does his departure mean for Liverpool, based purely on the article's account? It stresses the deep connection, the long history.
That 20-year journey phrase stands out. And the emotional aspects mentioned. Based on those facts, Liverpool's losing more than just a right-back or a creative player.
More than just stats.
Much more. They're losing a leader, arguably. A unique creative force from a defensive position, certainly. And a huge symbol of their academy's success. His departure, described with the club being appreciative and grateful, it really signifies the end of an era for a player who embodied so much of their identity and recent triumphs.
Yeah.
His absence, it's bound to impact things, not just tactically on the pitch, but you would imagine that dressing room dynamic too, given his history there.
And just briefly, from the player side, those moments the article mentions, singing with the cop, reflecting, it underscores the personal weight of this, doesn't it? Even going to a giant like Real Madrid.
Absolutely. The article captures that human element well, leaving the only place you've known professionally since you were a kid, having achieved everything he did there. That's a monumental personal shift.
This is a huge new challenge, of course, at another elite club.
But those emotional notes in the article, they show it's clearly far more than just a simple business transaction for him.
So, connecting all this back to you, the listener, this transfer story, drawn just from the Sky Sports article, it really serves as a compelling case study, doesn't it?
It really does.
It illustrates those intricate dynamics of player contracts when they're running down, how market value can suddenly fluctuate based on very specific needs.
Like a tournament deadline.
Exactly. And the strategic calculations these huge clubs make, both in trying to hold on to talent and in acquiring it.
It's a great reminder that even in the final weeks, the final moments of a contract, weird circumstances can suddenly unlock significant value.
Or force some unforeseen spending.
Precisely.
Okay, so just to recap the core facts from the article one last time. A major move. Trent Alexander-Arnold transferring from Liverpool to Real Madrid.
It involved that surprising $10 million fee paid by Real before his contract actually expired.
Driven, according to the source, by their desire to have him ready for the Club World Cup starting mid-June.
He signed that long 6-year deal with Real, and he leaves Liverpool after an absolutely remarkable journey through their academy, winning 8 major honors with the first team.
And this whole situation, just based on this one report, it leaves us with some really thought-provoking questions for you to consider, doesn't it? Like, how does an immediate tactical needing someone for one specific tournament suddenly create £10 million of value for just a few weeks of remaining contract time? It's kind of mind-bending.
It is. And what does a move like this signify more broadly? You know, an academy product, massive success at his boyhood club, leaving for a long-term deal abroad. What does that say about player career paths now and maybe the future of, dare I say it, loyalty in top-tier football?
Yeah. Something to definitely ponder as these high-stakes transfers and decisions continue to shape the game we watch.